This is the self-titled podcast of the Golf in Japan website, where you can check essential information in English about golfing in Japan, including more than 2,000 courses. We can help you book your round and make the whole process a whole lot easier. So check out golf-in-japan.com and start planning your Japan golf trip today. Golf in Japan, February 22nd, 2024. Welcome and yokoso. I'm here with Damon and, of course, Pro Joe. And we're going to go through our Golf in Japan shenanigans. And this week, Damon, I think we have a beautiful prefecture described as hidden gem, offering a glimpse of the country's rich history, captivating culture, and stunning landscapes.
That sounds like something out of ChatGPT.
No, not of course it was not. Yeah, maybe.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's ChatGPT is amazing for doing content, though, I have to say. But you gotta put your own stank on it.
Skankle stamp.
I believe the Americans call it a stank, like your own stink on it. Yeah. But anyway, Shimane, tell us about it.
Okie dokie. So Shimane, located in Shikoku region of Japan, which is basically the middle part of the Honshu Island on the Japan seaside. Kind of like west of Hiroshima.
Yep.
Anybody been?
No.
Nope.
I think I've passed through it once, quite a long time ago. But quite famous for obviously cultural heritage, and it also has one of Japan's oldest shrines, the Izumo Taisha Shrine.
Yep.
And being on the Japan seaside, it also has a bunch of little islands off the coast there, which is also part of the prefecture called the Oki Islands.
Yep.
But not so many golf courses there. There's approximately about 10 to 20. It's actually quite hard to establish how many there actually are. I think over the last couple of years, a couple of them have turned into La Sola Farm.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I do every now and again, I try and brush up the listings and make sure everything's still existing. And you throw in an address to Google Maps, and then it comes up, and then you can just see on, like, you switch it to from normal view into
to like actual,
satellite view, and then you just see all you see is the the solar panels. You're like, oh crap,
yeah,
another one bites the dust.
Yeah. Or the message under the address there saying permanently closed.
Yeah.
But yes. But on our Golf in Japan website, the 5 courses that gain the most traffic would be the Hamada Golf Links,
yep,
the Izumo Kuko Golf Club, or Country Club rather, which is actually Kuko in Japanese means airport. So right next to the airport there, a very conveniently located course.
Okay.
The Izumo Taisha Country Club and the Shimane Country Club, and the Tamatsuki Kuri Onsen Country Club. They would be the 5 most searched golf clubs in the Shimane region.
I actually did a bit of research yesterday, and I checked in the Japan rankings what are the 3 highest ranked Shimane, and it's not actually, it's very similar to you. So number 1 is Hamada Golf Links that you mentioned, then Izumo Taisha Country Club, and then Shimane Golf Club, which there you go. I guess, yeah, there's a picture on the website there. You see a lovely view of, what's that lake that they have there? Lake Shinji.
Right.
It's that kind of, it's a massive lake, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, okay. Well, another place for we got to organize a boys trip out there, a little buddies golf trip. So how long does it take to get from Tokyo?
It's just above Hiroshima, so it's actually not that different. So it's probably like 5 hours or so on the bullet train from Tokyo, hour and a half on a plane.
Okay. That's not bad. Again, the prices are seriously cheap.
Chips. Yeah.
Cheapest chips, man. You're talking $50 midweek with lunch. And that's the top 3. So I had a quick gander. Weekends are a little bit more expensive, cherry blossom season and so on, but on average, fantastic. Amazing golf courses. I'm just looking at them now. I mean, they're well manicured, aren't they?
Yeah, they look very nice.
And the other thing that I discovered was apparently the sake, although every prefecture always says our beef is the best, and our sake is the best.
Yeah.
But apparently the Shimane, not their Wagyu, the Shimane sake is the business.
Is that right?
Yeah. And I think I actually have, there's a place in Tokyo, and It's called the Sake Brewers Association, and they have every sake in Japan, and you can just roll in and try them all.
Wow.
It's down the road from here. It's in Toranomon in Tokyo.
Oh, Toranomon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing place. But if you be warned, if you are visiting it, you're going to get shit faced. So, give up your afternoon. But I actually, and there's sake brewery tours in Shimane in English. And there's 4 of them that actually do it. So apparently that's the thing to do. So if it's sake and golf, that's what you're going down there for. Maybe that's what the title should be. Shimane, sake and golf.
Well, I'm actually just looking at some of the photos that Damon's got on his computer. I'm looking at Hamada Golf Links, golf in Japan. Just stunning. Great backdrop. Good looking golf course. Yeah, get down there, people, or get up there, people.
Down from
down.
here.
Yeah.
Got to get up to get down, or get down to get up. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. I believe it's two of the top courses are our partner courses as well, I believe, or somehow affiliated with us. So no problem to book those as well. So if anybody's needing some tee times, as always, our team are ready and waiting to help you discover anywhere in Japan, actually. Of course, there are some courses that we can't get on. I think the number one course that everyone wants to get on is Hirono. So good luck with that. Kasubi Gaseki and
Tokyo
Yokohama,
Golf Club. Yeah,
Tokyo Golf
they won't
Club.
let you in the front door at places like that. I think you've got to play with a member at those places, don't you?
That's right, yeah.
Funny thing is, though, if you ever play Kasubi Gaseki and Tokyo Golf Club, they're next door to each other.
Yeah.
There's another 2 golf courses down the road, and they're old, not as old, but they play exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, we'll get you the next best thing if we can't get you into
Which are just as good as those golf courses anyway. They really are.
Yeah.
Plenty of access to amazing golf courses you probably never heard of.
Yeah. Okay. And then other points of interest, I think this will wrap it up for Shimane. They have a couple of cool festivals. They do one in there. They have a castle, Toda Castle down there. And then it's in October. And you mentioned that shrine. Like that shrine started 1,500 years ago. And they have a continuous festival since those days. And apparently it's pretty cool. It's a Shinto based thing. And it's to give you, so you go to the festival, and it's to get your blessing for the year, for prosperity and money. So if you're there in October, head on over to the castle. It's called the Toda Castle Festival, but it's also part of the shrine, which was
the Izumo Taisha Shrine.
That's the one, Grand Shrine.
So when actually is the festival, though? Is it October?
It just says October every year. So maybe there's specific dates, or it goes on from weekend to weekend. But in October, look it up, check it.
Awesome.
All right, next corner or segment, or whatever you want to call it, is tour news. So over to you,
PGA
Pro
Tour.
Joe.
The PGA Tour is the Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club, also known as Riv, which is a golf course in LA.
Yep.
It's usually in the world's top 50, top 25 in the US. It's a golf course that I really enjoy watching. Of course, I've never been there, but on television. Interesting fact, Riviera is owned by a Japanese real estate tycoon called Noboru
I seen about
Watanabe.
the thing. So Matsuyama got the trophy off the Japanese guy.
Correct.
And he spoke in English to him, and Matsuyama's like, what?
Yeah, he bought it in 1989 for 108 million US.
Wow.
Can you imagine what that property is worth now?
Jeez.
It's a great golf course, but I don't know if do you guys know anything about grass? Have you ever heard of Kaikuyu grass? Do you know what kike is?
No.
You would have played on golf courses. It's
Is that similar to Bermuda grass or something?
No, it's a very coarse grass. It's got a bad name. If it's cut
You hear them
properly,
talking
the
about it in
fairways-
the,
yeah, they would have been talking about it. Yeah, if you get in the rough, it's really, really thick, very heavy grass, and it's hard to play out of. Lots of flyers. If it's manicured properly on fairways and cut tight, it's really good to play off. But the reason it's Kaikuyu. No, 1932 Olympics, they held the equestrian event there. So it's a very hardy sort of grass, which apparently is good for horses, can run all over it, and it doesn't affect it too much. And that's why it is still Kaikuyu.
Okay.
And a lot of golf courses aren't, because it has got a bad name. And if it's left a little bit to grow too long, it's not a great surface to play from.
Is that the one where it goes kind of fluffy? I've played in Hawaii and Guam, and they have, around the green, sometimes they let it grow a little bit, and sometimes you just completely miss the ball. It just goes.
I go straight underneath.
You think it's quite tight.
Yeah,
but actually it's like it's like the grass has a perm.
I'm not. Anyway, look, if you ever get the opportunity to go there, check out the grass, because it's it has got a bit of a bad name, but a great playing surface if it's cut properly. Did you watch it, guys?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of it, actually.
Interesting week. Tiger's back. It's hosted by Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the launch of his new brand, Sunday Red.
Schlesinger.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks like a comb to me.
Oh yeah.
I can't get that out of my head.
I think years ago there used to be shaving foam. I don't know if you have it in Australia, called Brill Cream. They make hair cream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they had a logo similar to that as well. I couldn't think of it last time. I was calling it hair wax. But it looks like Schlesinger or whatever. The gear looks, in fairness, cozy, looks nice, good quality.
Yeah, look, they're going for a higher price point.
Right.
So, yeah, look, on the practice day, Tiger looked a little bit strange, actually, because I think it's just I'm used to him in his Nike gear. But it was different. It was cut. The shirts are cut a little bit shorter, shorter sleeves, so you can see his guns.
Yeah, he looked like as well that he had a towel wrapped around his neck, but that was actually just the way the collar of his polo was sticking out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No.
And the other thing I noticed is his pants didn't fit properly, really tight in the thighs and a little bit long. I just don't know why they can't get it right. Jason Day, when he wore the stuff for Melbourne the first day out, was the same thing. Loose, pants too long. You can't tell me that those people can't get it right. When they're releasing it, on the first day of a tournament, and these guys are wearing it, that they can't get it the correct length or the correct fit. It's astounding to me. They can't do that properly. But look, they can only get better.
Yeah.
And those guys always look terrific anyway. How can you mess up, putting out your clothes on what a great physique, and Jason Day.
And he swings the golf club, and then you forget all about what he's even wearing. You're just like, look at it. His swing is good, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, as you guys said, Hideki won it. He shot 62 in the last round.
Fantastic.
To finish 17 under. Sort of leapfrogged Luke List and Will Zalatoris, who finished second at 14 under. Will Zalatoris, do you know much about Will Zalatoris? Titleist guy, full-staff player.
Just back from injury?
Correct, yeah, had a year off, bad back. Built like he's like the human one-iron, tall, thin guy. Hits it forever, lots of stress on his back, so he had a year off.
Yeah.
He's probably the most compelling young player on the US PGA Tour right now. If you get the opportunity to listen to him, interview, he's really interesting, very thoughtful, smart, well spoke, a great game, really, really good player. So it's good to have him back. I think the PGA Tour has missed him a little bit. Yeah, it's a very strong thoughts about the guy's going to live, and everything that he said I agreed with. He's not, he's not afraid in coming forward and saying his piece, which I appreciate. So, and Titleist guy again, full ambassador. He's from top to toe, he's Titleist. So it's always good to see the Titleist guys doing well.
Well, I was going to say, Hideki definitely won that tournament thanks to his putter, which got hot.
Yeah.
Man, he was
it in a
putting
couple
so
of times
well,
and putted well.
Well,
Yeah.
even when he was in trouble, putter got him out of it.
Yeah,
Great.
which is, as we always say, I mean, him and Scotty Scheffler are the premier ball strikers on the PGA Tour. If they putt well, they win. It's as simple as that. They hit the ball better than anybody else.
I heard that Scotty Cameron actually makes them 2 or 3 putters a year, personally, just for him.
Yeah.
By Scotty, ships them over.
Yeah.
That's why he always has a similar, blade putter, but it's definitely a Scotty, isn't it?
Yeah, he's improved his technique a little bit too. The toe used to stick up in the air a lot with his putter, and it's sitting a little bit closer to flat. Still not where I would particularly like to see it, but he's the winner. 62 in the last round is just amazing. So, which is great for golf in Japan. And it was the first time I've seen Hideki smile in a while too. He was all smiles afterwards, which is nice to see.
Yeah. He didn't have his usual translator, I think. It was some other.
No, it was somebody, a younger
Strixon.
guy.
I think it was someone from Strixon or something.
Yeah.
I see he was wearing his Sunday yellow.
he's got his shoes and his.
Maybe he should start his own brand. Man, there's a word in Japanese, and Damon will tell you what it means. It's called dasai. And it's like he's wearing like big baggy trousers like Jumbo used to wear like in the 80s. And then he has these, weird colored stuff and his shoes have the matching thing. And it's just, I think it would have been dasai in the 80s, what he's wearing. What do you think, Damon?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it looked
What
pretty
does
good.
Dasai mean?
Dasai is like being a bit of a nerd,
Okay. Yeah.
nerdy.
Yeah. But look, it was great to see him win. I was kind of happy that Cantlay didn't win. You know, he's maybe the slowest player on the USPGA Tour. And not particularly well liked.
Tell you, he drives the ball well, though, doesn't he?
Oh, look, he's
Straight.
he's a terrific player. Him and Xander Schauffele are really good mates, and they finished back. You know, they didn't quite get it together. I think a lot of the field was sick, actually. So Spieth, he was disqualified, but apparently it's because he was feeling unwell.
No, he said that because he filled out he signed the wrong score, right?
Yeah, but I think what happened is whoever he signed the scorecard too quickly because he needed to go for a shit.
Is it?
Yeah, he had the. He had the
Yeah,
shits. He had
they said that
diarrhea.
he did
Yeah.
run off the course. Yeah.
Yeah, so it went out, and that's the reason why Tiger gave it up on the second day after 7 holes, is he was feeling a little bit ill as well. So I don't know. There's all sorts of stories out there. I don't know if it was back or his poor play, but there was an ambulance sent to the clubhouse full of IV bags for Tiger. Apparently, he was dehydrated and quite unwell. So look,
Really?
there's always drama with Tiger.
I mean, what was the most popular rumor? It was from the In-N-Out burgers.
Yeah, that's right. He was eating In-N-Out burgers on the practice round. They were there.
Was Spieth doing it as well?
Well,
Yeah,
I,
look at-
I don't know if
yeah.
you've seen the clip, but there's a picture of Tiger eating the In-N-Out burger, and in the background
and
is
it's the-
is Phil Mickelson dressed up as one of the waiters.
That's right. They'd superimposed his head in on the young In-N-Out kid who was serving the burgers.
Oh crap! Is that the one that he was like, "I'm not a pickle guy," and he's throwing
That's
it in
it.
the
That's
bin?
it. And someone taking a photo from a different angle, and you could see the employee of In-N-Out standing behind him, and then they superimposed Phil's head on him, and
with a cheeky smirk
I
on
thought
his face.
that was
classic.
quite funny. Anyway, it was a great day once again for Japanese golf, having Hideki at the
His
Absolutely.
9th win, amazing.
ninth win. Yeah, because he hasn't been around for a little while. He hasn't been on the leaderboards recently, but so very good to see. Now there was no ladies event, LPGA. Or DP World Tour. There's some stuff coming up. The ladies are playing in Thailand this week at Siam Country Club.
You know, I was actually watching this morning. I don't know if it was this week or last weekend, but I was watching the Champions Tour.
Oh, yeah.
And okay, fair enough. Now, you know, at Riviera there was a pretty decent leaderboard, right? Top 10 players, you knew who they were.
Yeah.
But on the Champions Tour, it's amazing. Like Ernie Els, Padraig Harrington,
Yeah.
you know, Fred Couples, all these legends. But it's kind of it's gone a bit scabby on the PGA Tour because they're all in live.
Yeah, they are.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. The Champions Tour is like a gravy train for those guys. I mean, they've all got plenty of coin, but they just get out there and they enjoy themselves and still play great golf.
They play amazing golf. Yeah,
They do. They play from slightly forward tees, but they can all still really play. And Harrington actually hits the ball further now than what he did when he was on tour. He's increased his club head speed. So they're still working at a lot of the guys.
yeah.
You know, they look great. Bernard Langer's still winning, and he's in his mid to late 60s.
Ernie
He's
Els
in
looks
great nick.
amazing.
Yeah, great nick. They look after themselves.
I think Ernie Els is just as long as Padraig Harrington.
Yeah,
He hits
yeah,
it long too. Amazing.
He's a big unit. Anyway, the girls are in Thailand playing, and they've got a strong Japanese contingency playing. Yuka Saso, Erika Hara, Hinako Shibuno, and Nasa Hataoka, who's number 17 in the world. So they're all playing there. So hopefully one of the girls gets up for a win.
Lovely.
Now this probably seems a little bit strange, guys. I'm going to ask you both a question. Have you ever heard this name before? Lilia Vu.
Yeah.
Have you?
Didn't she won the women's open? Not open, the don't want to say the Evian or something like that.
Very good. Damon, have you heard of Lillian's name before?
No.
She's the number one player in the world. And I was shocked. I looked
She's
at
amazing.
the Rolex world rankings, and she's number one. And I've vaguely heard her name before, and it's not good that I don't know her name, but she won 2 majors last year. She's an American girl, and she's playing this week. But I guess it goes to show that the ladies tend to move around a lot, don't they? I mean, you've got someone like that who's come from nowhere. She's won 4 times in the last year and a half. I
And
think
she's
it
like
is,
20.
She's
She's
number
very
one in
young.
the world, and you've never heard of her name before.
It-
It's unbelievable.
What's that tournament that happens towards the end of the year where it's like a PGA tour and an LPGA tour player. They
They play together.
yeah. So she played with Joel Damon,
Oh, okay.
and Joel Damon's pretty funny. So he was calling their team like the Wu-Tang Clan. But she was in the press conference talking about the Wu-Tang Clan, right? They had a group chat and they were calling it the Wu-Tang Clan. And she wasn't born when Wu-Tang Clan last had a hit. Or with the Wu-Tang Clan, not the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, she's only 26.
Yeah, so she's like, I don't have no idea who Wu-Tang Clan is. And
Yeah.
he's just like, okay, that just makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right, just to wrap up, just a couple of other things. The Mexico Open's on for the PGA Tour this week. There's only one Japanese player playing in it, Ryo Hisatsune, who I think you know.
Yes, we
You know
talked about him last
name.
week.
Yeah, we did. And the other great thing is he's been invited to the Masters this year.
Oh,
There were 3 invitations from the Masters. So the guys that get into the Masters, I think it's the top 50 in the world, and then past winners. But they're allowed to invite whoever they like. And Ryo Hisatsune's got an invite. Thorbjorn Olesen, the Danish kid who's won, not kid, he's in his mid-30s now. Has won a couple of times recently. And Joaquin Niemann from Liv.
wow.
They've invited him from Liv, which is really interesting. That they've not succumbed, but they've invited somebody from the dark side.
but the Tiger said in a press conference or in an interview that they were him and the rest of the board of the PGA were exploring ways for live golfers to make their way
come
back to the tour.
Yep, which it needs to.
Which means it's going to happen.
Yeah.
If Tiger says
Yeah.
it, that's it, done deal.
Yeah. So I think it's great. So that's a really good start for those guys. For Joaquin Niemann to be invited to the
Yeah.
Masters is really big. So good on the Masters for doing that.
Cool.
The next Live event is March 1 to 3, Royal Greens Golf and Country Club. I think we talked about that maybe in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one Japanese player playing in it, Jinichi Kazuma, who I have no idea.
I watched him in the last one a little
Did
bit.
you?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's only one Japanese player playing in
What
the
team
field,
is he on?
I don't know. I should have looked. I can't keep up with all that. But lots of Japanese players are playing out there this week, so give them a follow, and congratulations again to Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, fantastic
Great
win
win.
for him, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you. Just going back to, we mentioned it earlier, talking about Kikuya.
Yep.
In Japan,
Yep.
actually, it's a double question.
Yep.
Why do most Japanese golf courses, say older than 20 years, have 2 greens? That's the first question.
Yep.
Second question is, tell us a little bit about this Japanese grass, which is super yellow in the winter and super green in the summer.
Yeah, well, I think the first question is they have 2 greens because they're different surfaces, they're different grasses on each green.
Yep.
And obviously one tends to prosper more than the other in the different conditions in the different seasons. So one's a better winter grass and one's a better summer grass. I can't remember which way. So one is bent and the other one is...
Korai.
There you go. Spelt.
Korai.
Okay. Which I think I'm not sure what it translates to in English, which it might be a Bermuda or... I don't know enough about this sort of thing, but...
Man, I don't know. I mean, in Ireland, we have ryegrass, and then we have, if you're by the links, you have like the kind of, wispy dune kind of tall grass.
Yep.
And that's it. But here, I love when the greens are Korai.
Oh, do you? See, I like the bent.
I love it.
Yeah, see, from being in Melbourne, all the best golf courses, especially down the Sound Belt, are all bent. So I think better performs better in winter. I've got a 50-50 chance there.
It's a
to get it
hardy
wrong or
grass.
right,
Well,
but-
they have to spray it because it dies off it doesn't grow and it dies off in the winter, so it goes yellow.
Yeah.
So even if they have a green of that, they'll have to spray it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it. It's like a tatami. That's what the green feels like when you go on it. It's like a tatami mat.
The bent grass?
No, the Korai.
Korai.
And
Yeah.
then when you put, it always seems to kind of, the ball is just hopping around everywhere.
Yeah, bubbles. Yeah.
But
yeah.
for some reason, it doesn't break as much, and I always seem to put better on it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I like bent. Bent, there's no grain in bent, usually.
Yeah, it's a lot finer.
Yeah, it's much finer grass. Yeah.
It's more finer,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's in the summer now. Probably the reason why, as he explained, to have 2 different types of grass. It was a lot colder in Japan. So,
Yep.
like say in the winter, in say the 70s, 60s, 80s,
sure.
when all these. But now it's changed. We've talked about the weather.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's weather time, people. So now it's not as cold in the winter, but it's roasting hot in the summer.
Yeah.
And the greens are all getting burnt. So the bent greens are getting like really roasted. So if you have 2 greens now, you can alternate them, let one grow out, water it. And then when the other one starts getting patchy and caked from the sun,
Yeah.
because it's getting up to 43 degrees sometimes,
Yeah.
Yep.
Not everywhere, but in the hotter
Yeah.
regions.
But you're right, the bent grass is for the cooler climate.
Oh, it is for the cool.
Yep.
Good. Great. Okay.
And then the Korai is for the warmer. And the bent grass has got the really fine texture to it.
Yep.
And the Korai is a lot more coarse.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. From what I understand from some golf courses I've been talking to, and just also seeing over the years, a lot of courses are going away from having both the two different greens, just to go into one green.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the issue of maintaining them and everything like
That's
that throughout the season being burnt or whatnot. But it's really expensive to maintain two greens.
Yeah, I think all the different chemicals you'd have to put on those different grasses and
the space obviously it takes as well.
Yep.
So a lot of courses are actually moving to just one green.
Yeah, I think out of all of our golf courses, I think there's only one course or maybe two courses which has got two greens. Even our flagship Katemba used to have two greens, so they just blew up one green a long time ago. Which when you're playing, you can actually, obviously you play to the putting green, but there's a big open area beside it, which the other green used to be.
So when you do play a course where it's got two greens, and if you chip on or whatever onto the green that's not open, what happens?
Look, I think that would hope you. Look, usually what happens is it's a free drop, no closer to the.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. No
so you
closer to the pin.
can't play it on the old green
Yeah.
or on the green that's closed. You have to take it off to the closest.
I thought
closest point of
I thought you
relief.
could put it.
Nope.
So some golf courses, the greens are right next to each other, so you could literally put like a long putt. Okay, it goes through, goes down and
okay.
up. As long as you're not damaging the green.
Yeah, look, maybe there's an option you can play it, but I think the smarter option would probably be to take it off the side. And I don't think they want you chipping off the and making a great big divot. But if you're playing a regular golf course and if you hit it onto another putting green, then you're supposed to take it off. You're not supposed to play from that putting green.
Clearest point of relief there, closer to the pin.
Which makes sense.
Okay.
And one other thing about playing two greens in Japan is they're often not the same length. One sits back from the other.
Correct. Yeah.
So when you're playing from the fairway, and if you're looking at the yardage markers left or right, so if you're playing to the green on the right, you look at the yardage markers on the right. Don't make the mistake of looking at the yardage marker on the left, because it might give you it's giving you the distance to the left green. So just be a little bit careful when you're doing that.
And also on the tee box, so when you're teeing off and say you can't see the green, so you don't know if it's left or right. On the tee box, you have two white balls.
Yep.
One will be bigger than the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
And the big ball is, so if the ball's on the left side is slightly bigger, you wouldn't even notice it. If the ball, saying where the tee ground is a little bit bigger on the left, then it's left green.
I never knew that.
So what we do at Taheo, we've got the two white markers.
Yeah.
One of them will be white and one of them will be brown. So if it's the white marker, so if the white marker is on the left, it means you're playing to the green on the left.
Yep.
Wow. So watch out.
That's a good one. And another thing, playing four.
Oh, God.
So nobody actually gets that because they go, what?
What's
playing
that?
four?
Yeah.
And so tell us a bit about that, Joe.
Well, of course, when you're playing, if you're hitting balls so there's a lot of internal bounds in Japan. So generally out of bounds is outside the boundaries of the golf course, but in Japan there's a lot of internal out of bounds. So a lot of people are hitting balls out of bounds. So what they do is instead of course, when people hit the ball out of bounds, you're supposed to come back to the tee box and hit your third shot. But usually when you get down there and you found out that your ball is out of bounds, well, you're not going to wander 250 yards back to the tee box because it just wastes time. So what they do in Japan is you play four, which means there's generally about, how far down the fairway do you think these yellow markers are?
I mean,
it's supposed to be like a good, as you said, it's a good drive.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you hit your ball out of bounds, you don't have to hit another ball from where you've hit the first one from the teeing ground. You walk up the fairway, and there's two yellow markers, like the guy said, about 250 yards down the fairway, and you can drop your ball down there, and you are playing four. Now, here's another thing I don't quite get: are you allowed to tee the ball up?
You are
in between the yellow markers.
You are.
Yes.
See, I don't quite understand that. I mean, I've hit a few out of town, and I've had to play dropping it in there, and I've never teed the ball up. I've always hit it from the grass, and I've seen people tee it up, and I've thought that can't be right because you're only supposed to tee the ball up in the teeing ground, but maybe it's considered a teeing ground.
I did it last Saturday.
How many times?
And I teed it up and actually got it on.
There you go.
Actually, so in air golf course, we have a downhill par 5.
Yep.
As on the first hole, and there's a lake to the left. The local rule is if you get it on the left, right, you can go to the play 4, which is just next to the lake on the fairway.
Yeah.
Tee it up.
Yeah.
For your third shot because it's considered a lateral water hazard.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so you're not even playing your fourth shot; you're playing your third shot. So you could then drive it onto the greens par 5.
So is that a drop zone then?
for 3, and you could put in for a
It's like
birdie.
birdie.
Yeah.
But if
Okay.
it's lateral hazard, you can't tee up.
No, it's a local rule.
Okay.
So normally if you go into the water, you would take it out and you could, point of entry, back
Yep.
2 clubs,
Yep.
and off you go. And just to speed it up, because it's the first hole, they're saying like, don't go down because it's rough area. There's loads of it's a hard shot to get over the water. Then
Yeah.
you bring it back to the fairway. There's no water in your way, and you play a 3rd shot and you can tee it up.
So there you go. So you can tee it up.
Oh,
Because-
and I don't know if you've seen it in air course as well. The par 3s. So, say for example, if there's water or you hit an OB or whatever, it's a tight hole. They'll have just off the green, and you can put
yeah.
playing 3.
Yeah, we've got some of that. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. You can make an easy bogey from there. Or if you hit a good shot, you can make a par, but you
Make a
can
par.
putt it.
You can put it.
Yeah.
I think it's always just to speed up the game.
It's just speeding up plays.
Speed of play.
Yeah. So if the caddy says play 4, go down 250 yards down the fairway, find the yellow markers, drop your ball there, and play your 4th from there.
And yellow stakes is just on the perimeter. Sometimes you can have yellow and white stakes, which always confuses me. So white stake in the new rules of golf,
So
you can take it back to the fairway, take distance and penalty. So if you hit it out, you add say 3 shots. You'd be taking your 3rd shot, so it's 2 shots. But if it's yellow stake, it's a 1-shot penalty, and you drop 2 club lengths from the yellow stakes.
Is that what it is? Yeah, we've got one of our golf courses has got that. I hit the ball really straight and I never missed that fairways.
Okay, so what if
Well-
you hit it into yellow but can't find your ball? 1 stroke penalty or 2?
Generally, the rule with golf is if you ever play bad golf, it's only ever 1-stroke penalty. If you break rules, it's 2. But
My understanding is if you can't find your ball, it's a 2-stroke penalty.
No, what I'm
really?
saying is, so say
it's
for
the
example,
same as almost as out of bounds.
isn't the new rules right? When if you hit OB
Yeah.
and it's white, now it's not your tee shot. You're hitting a 2nd shot on the par 5, for example.
Okay.
Right? You can either hit the same shot from there,
Yeah.
1-shot
stroke.
penalty, or you can take stroke and distance and drop it, laterally from
I see,
on
from
the
where it's
fairway
crossed.
from where it's crossed for 2.
Wow. Okay.
Correct.
I'll educate you.
So, but these are rules that are only happen in Japan. I mean, they're not in the rule book. I'm sure.
I thought the stroke and distance on the OB thing is everywhere.
Stroke and
I
distance.
think
But the yellow-
yeah, that's normal.
The yellow one is
But the yellow
super weird, yeah.
markers is usually a lateral water hazard.
So in
No,
Japan,
not
they're
lateral,
red.
It's red.
They're red.
Sorry, it's red.
Yeah. Don't know.
And even if it's in red but playable, can you play it?
Yeah, you can play it.
That's the difference between yellow and red, I think.
There you go.
Okay. Anyway, well, look, when you come and play
yellow.
golf in
It's
Japan, it's a
one
little.
penalty.
So
something that's a
yellow,
bit
you could
confusing.
actually play it out.
No, red you can, yellow you can't.
So like if it's in a lake, you can actually get into the lake and smash it out if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you
as
go.
long as you
That
don't
makes
ground
sense.
your club, it's like being in a bunker because a bunker's just a hazard.
Do
That's right.
do Ishikawa out of Gotemba
Yeah,
on the 18th.
yeah, on the
there.
18th. Yeah, if you come over to play our Gotemba course on the last hole, the water is at such a level that you can actually walk in there. There's sand underneath there. It's it's probably an inch and a half. The water and the ball gets in there, and they take their shoes and socks off, and you hit it like a bunker shot.
I remember when
Pops
he
out.
did that. That was in the he was so popular then
Unbelievable.
in Japan.
Yeah.
He was so popular then. He was getting into the water and
Yeah.
chipping out, and it just
What a talent.
what a talent. Yeah.
I remember Bill
Phenomenal.
Haas did that and he won
I
the.
did too, and it spun. That was, I think,
yeah,
that was
it was the
like a
FedEx.
tour. Yeah, it was the last event.
It was the last of the tour championship,
yeah.
I suppose.
And he hit it in the soup on the
Fantastic.
left and took his shoes and socks off and hit it to a foot.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Bill Haas. What happened to him? He's gone.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably retired.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you. Last one on the rules, because I'm sure all these golfers are. But I was playing my friend Matt. Damon was there last week and hit a ball, went left. So when I got down there, there's a fence that we have to keep out the inoshishi, the pigs.
Yep.
Right? Now the white stakes were behind that.
Yep.
So it's a man-made object.
Yep.
It was like a grill.
Yep.
The ball's right up against it. So he's like, no, you have to play it where it lies. And I said, no, I get a drop from this. It's a man-made object. And he was like, oh, well, that should be the OB then, because, it's kind of, like this kind of stuff. And
So the fence was inside.
the fence was inside, and then the OB, the white stakes was behind
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're right.
You got
Any
a
part
drop
of your
from that.
ball is touching the out of bounds. Whether
No,
it's
nothing was.
So if it's a man-made,
get a
object,
drop.
whether it's parts, fences, you get relief.
I told you. I took it. but he was like grumbling.
Yeah,
all the way.
take a fair stance. Take a one club from there, no closer to the hole.
So the white sticks are literally leaning up against the fence.
But on the other side.
Yeah, any part of your ball is touching.
So actually,
out
no,
of bounds.
you're right. Actually,
It's
what
out
it
of bounds.
was
The pigs are on the inside.
So the white fence. Well, anyway, if you drew an imaginary line between the two white stakes,
Yep.
right, the ball was on the left of that,
Okay,
like
and-
on course.
Yeah, you got to remember that out of bounds is also vertical. So no part of the ball was
No.
touching. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Damon's just drawing a picture on the.
No, but it was
On the
curved,
whiteboard.
Damon. It was curved. No. Wasn't like that. Anyway, don't listen to him. That's clearly OBA. I wouldn't have played that. Jesus. And then the ball's on the
No,
wrong
look, from what you've described, you're in bounds and then right to take a stroke if it impedes your backswing, a
I'm going to
man-made
take
object,
a picture and post it.
or you're standing on it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And there's going to be a picture of me pointing clearly, tape measure in hand. Anyway, I lost the match.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So he was like, yeah. So I actually, did the whole professional, had the tee out, dropped the ball 3 times, then placed it. Hit a not a bad shot actually, just off the green, and then I knifed one over the green because it's just like, all right, that's it.
Where was this? Where were you playing?
We were playing in my home course to Tsujigaoka.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was rubbish. Anyway, enough about golf rules.
Yeah, I've probably got some of them wrong. So
I know there's
Sorry,
going to be
I
loads of
apologise.
emails. People say that guy doesn't know what he's playing, but he hits the ball really straight. That's why he's here, people.
that's right.
He's not a rules official.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's why the golf pros they always call rules officials. I mean, a lot of the guys should know and do know, but they don't want to make a mistake because then they're going to get penalised. So
That's right.
that's why they call them over.
Okay. Right then. Do we have anything else to add to this podcast? Or are we going to be short and sweet talking about the rules of golf?
I don't know. Should we finish about our last week's experience on the golf course? What courses we played? And
Did you play last week,
No,
Damon?
I played twice. I played at Tsuchigaoka
With me?
with
Yep.
you, and then I also played at the Mana Country Club, the Gary Players course.
Ooh.
okay.
And
How was
that's a resole course.
Yep.
Amazing course. I love that course. It's phenomenal. It's great.
What's resole?
Resole, they have about 18 courses
Okay.
in Japan, from top to bottom,
How
from
do you spell
Hokkaido all the
resole?
way down.
How do you spell resole?
RESOL.
Okay.
Some of them, they have play and stay, so they have like villages,
Yeah, we
villas
talked
or
about them
cottages.
last time. You remember
Yeah,
the
oh,
place?
Yeah, the
there?
one in
yeah,
Hiroshima,
okay.
the Setochi.
Yep.
But yeah.
Very foreigner friendly.
Are they?
Yeah, they're really nice. It's great golf courses. They're all over Japan as well.
Are
So
they?
that's good. We're going to be doing more with them, and obviously we'll be helping anybody who wants to go and play and discover that. But
This is
Gary
true.
Players, he's done a lot of courses in Japan.
Yeah, he's done a few. One of our golf
Nicholas
courses
are
is-
everywhere.
Yeah, he's Gary Player. I don't think he got a
Okay.
huge foothold in here, but yeah, one of them is. But lots and lots of bunkers at Anarita Golf Course. Really good golf course, but they've removed some of the bunkers and things like that. So I think he's taken his name off our golf course because when we changed it, we didn't get his approval. I think that's how it works.
His stank
sometimes-
of
yeah,
approval.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this Mana course as well. A lot of bunkers.
Yeah,
a lot
he's
of
a great
bunkers.
bunker player.
And some of them are actually, they have a reddish
The sand or the soil
sand
or
Clay.
type of thing. It's like a clay, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like a bunker, but it's not. So you can ground the club.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
they're really long. Some of them are like
Waste areas.
half
Yeah.
the length of the fairway.
Yep.
But
Wow.
yeah, it's really, really good course. Very
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
I
Challenging.
want to go play there.
Yep.
What prefecture?
That's in Chiba.
Chiba. So next to Tokyo.
Yep. Only about an hour away from central Tokyo.
Ooh, how much was it to play?
It was on a weekend, so 18,000. So
That's-
about $120.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With lunch.
Yeah, that is a highly. I mean, if you look at some of the other websites, the Japanese ones, that is a very highly ranked course.
It is. Yeah, there's two
The
courses
Mana.
there.
The Mana,
It's called Mana Country Club.
Mana Country
and
Club.
they have the Mana course and the Gary Players course.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So 36 holes.
Okay, let's give that a shot. Okay, well that's the golf course of the week. I did not play other than that one round,
Mhm.
but I'm scratching that from the records because I lost my match.
Yeah.
No.
With-
I
with-
printed
with Scottish
it
man.
out and put it on the wall.
I've been practicing a little bit. Which
Have
is,
you?
yeah.
When
As
you
if you
Working
practice,
on a few things.
how does a professional practice differ from?
Oh, I've got my
Mere
flights.
humans.
The place that I'm teaching at, I've got my flight scope now. So the range is obviously as most ranges in Yeah, so the ranges are only short, so you need something like a flight scope, something that gives you a launch monitor to give you some feedback. So I'm just working on just the numbers. You know, obviously when I was younger, I used to look at what the ball did and then you figure it out from there. But with all this technology these days, trying to zero out the path, because I tend to hook the ball or have hooked the ball over the years, so trying to get it less inside.
So what parameters are you looking at specifically?
I look at 3 either side, you know, but I'm always inside it. So if I can get it closer to it, and just working on a couple of things, and it's just instant feedback.
Okay.
So when you say you hook a ball, what the dispersion is like 2 yards or?
Yeah, look, if
3
anybody
either
that's
side.
played with me, I hit the ball
Fucking
pretty
hell.
straight off the tee. But I think the equipment has really helped. Growing up with persimmon and Bellata balls, you didn't have to get it far wrong for it to start going sideways. But these days, and I know I don't want to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but the ball doesn't move much these days. Like I used to be able to hit the ball 90 degrees, but these days they just don't spin as much. And the clubs are great. The equipment these days is extraordinary.
So it must be the balls I'm using then.
Yeah. Pull is a pull, a hook is a hook, a slice is a slice, you know.
Yeah. But I still love the game. I still enjoy it. I
Show
still
me a
enjoy
ball that I
practicing.
can slice. Honestly.
if I got you to use a Bellata ball, it's extraordinary how far sideways.
A Bellata?
Like Bellata. You don't know what a Bellata is?
No.
That's the old wound. You know, we used to see the cover and then you'd cut it open. We did it as kids and it was round.
And it was like
round with
elastics?
Elastic band around a little ball which was filled with some sort of substance.
So is that
Yeah,
what they
that's
would
right.
have used with the hickory clubs then?
No, I think that was even different again. But, you know, it's sort of in the 80s and 90s up until the Pro V came out. That's what they were using as the Titleist to a Bellata, which turned into a professional. But these things spun off the charts.
Wow.
Like snap hooks that would go 90 degrees left. And you didn't do much stuff wrong. That's why there was someone like Norman or even Jumbo Ozaki back in the day that hit the ball long and straight with that equipment, and that ball was really, really hard to do. But now everybody hits it long and straight because it's the equipment.
Yeah. Well, I remember opening one of those old Bellata balls. I didn't know it was called Bellata balls, but it was probably an old Schlesinger ball.
Yeah. Yeah, Schlesinger did Bellatas as well, and they used to wrap them in tissue paper.
And we take the cover off them, and then we, you know, with the elastic and everything, and we throw them into the dogs, and the dogs.
It would too.
They'd be like,
it would
go mad
unravel.
for it, you know.
Yeah,
Jack Russell's back in Ireland, are going crazy for it. You do these things when you're a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I don't think we have too much more to go through this week. I think we'll have a special guest next week. Should we say who it is?
No,
Let's keep it a secret.
keep it a secret.
Special guest. Okay.
Cool.
Special guest next week. And we'll, if anybody needs any help on booking a tea time for Japan, go to golf-in-japan.com and we'll help you with more. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.